brothers and sisters of the world.
Okay, Ian made it back. I was worried. I saw you step off like mid intro, and I was like, "Oh God!" But
Gosh,
we're all
you hear
here.
nothing.
Gang's all here. We made it. We finally did what we said we were gonna do. We made it to 100. We got everybody in for 100. It may not be the best of circumstances, but we're here and we're dealing with it. And it's good to be back. I will say. Ian and Hristo, y'all did the last thing that came up on this channel, which was your watch along. How did that go?
Can we just, Dion, did you change your shirt to a black tee?
No.
Okay, for the 100th episode, so we know. It went pretty well. We had so much fun, and I was like, I was ecstatic because it was so much fun, and people joined in and out. Me and Ian were doing and talking about everything possible. Throughout the halftime, we were trying to play head football, but we didn't manage to get it on stream. It was fun. The game, however, was pretty shit. Um, Inter being Inter, Udinese being Udinese, you know, it is what it is. But like at the end of the day, we cannot influence the result. We can only sit here, talk shit, and give our thoughts and assumptions. There are actual players and coach and the whole management that's being paid to think and establish a tactic that works. They didn't do that, so me and Ian did our part. We were entertaining, and Inter flopped once again. But here we are, episode 100.
I mean, of course, we do two big things. We do something new with a stream, and then we hit 100. Of course, I mean, it's only fitting that it's both after or during losses. So, Dave, we both missed that because it was like what 6 a.m. our time.
Yeah, that Udinese match was 6:30 our time, so I don't think neither of us was really in a live streaming kind of mood. So, well, thank God we missed it in retrospect, but also thank God Ian and Risto were able to hold it down. I heard it was very successful, and by the numbers as well, we see that it was very successful. So that's something that we're definitely going to be doing more often, or we should for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get all four of us on at some point, just like we got all four of us on today. So, God willing, we'll eventually make it. I think everyone's patient with us and hasn't really. I don't think anyone's missing too much of anyone talking about what's going on right now. I mean, I don't know. There may have been some positives to take out of yesterday. I would like to think that. I thought, guys like Asllani coming on his debut, I looked pretty good. DeMarco back on the left looked decent. I think he's better there than center back. We've all talked about, but yeah, who wants to really start to get into the meat of everything? Actually, before we do that, no, I've got to break out of this. We're doing 100. This is crazy. It's been years. Yeah, a round of applause. But it's been the thing I think I've been most consistent with in my life, because making it to 100 over all these years through a damn pandemic, me and Hristo doing stuff when there was no football or anything. It's been crazy. Hristo, I'll let you also. Everyone will do a little bit of eulogizing or whatever you want to call it, but
I'll let
Hristo,
Hristo go first, but before, like, I hope Nina's not around to hear that talking about that's the most consistent you've been in your life. Like, go ahead, Hristo.
I mean, she already knows that. That's not a novelty to her. Uh, it's been a journey, is the least we can say. It's been ups and downs. I think the first game that we actually spoke about was the game against Empoli. I think back in 2018, 2019. That was the second season of us entering the Champions League after a troublesome Champions League run. It's been a long time, a long fucking time, and we've seen a lot of great results and a lot of awful results since. We've seen Lukaku come and go and come again. We've seen Conte's excellence and Inzaghi's, fraudulently, whatever you want to call it. we've seen a lot of things, and it's been awesome. And like I've said it many times, but thanks to Ian and Dave that actually joined us on a consistent basis to talk about Inter, because otherwise with me being in a bad mood when Inter lost in previous years, we would not have been as consistent without them. So yeah, kudos to all of us.
Yeah,
And at the end of the day, like at first, everything that brought us together was Inter, and now we are a bunch of friends that can hang out outside Inter. So football brings us together, but then again, we're not dependent on it to have fun, and we've we've had a lot of fun throughout the years.
yeah, it's been great. And Dave and Ian, definitely, you guys brought a new breath of air into what we were doing. Because I mean, just the two of us. I mean, it it's hard to just be two doing it. I know we've all just been like two. We've all done episodes where it's just been two of us, and they're great. But it's hard to do that on a consistent basis, and it is great to get um, other opinions and just other points of view and the jokes that come in. Like it's all been great. Like thanks to both of you and thanks to Hristo for, starting this with me and also Chino. It was you two guys first. We can't forget that. And then I don't know, giving me a spot, and then here we are all these years later. I think we've chronicled the rise and fall of a certain era of it, possibly, and that's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, Dave, if you want to say something, or if you what Ian also, like, I'd like to hear what you guys also think
No,
about
no, but
this.
yeah, to just to piggyback off what both of you guys have said, the podcast, 100 episodes, that's definitely a big milestone because while we were working towards that hundred, I've seen many other podcasts start, stop, some left, come back and stuff. So it's hard to do it consistently with real life going on because at the end of the day, for most of us, this is a hobby. Very few of us actually work in football and actually make money off it. So it's kind of hard to stay consistent. So 100, that's something that we have to salute. I'm glad I was able to join you guys. You guys were well ahead, already started on your journey when I joined, and I'm glad that you guys were graceful enough to let me start joining consistently to a point where now I definitely feel like I'm part of the podcast, and I'm looking forward to another 100, man. Each of
Another
us we bring
100.
absolutely each of us we bring a different flavor to the pod, and that's why the name is so perfect, brothers of the world. Like we're all different parts of the world, and we're all brought together for the same love of Inter. And yeah, that's about it, man. What you gotta say, Ian?
Nah, I still remember the first day when Hristo messaged me to join this, and I was like, man, what am I gonna do, But
What
I
was it?
really am
Can you
grateful.
remind me of Can you remind me
It
of
was
the
after the first
interaction?
match last UCL season when I went to Milan. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, but I really am grateful for you guys reaching out. I mean, it's been so much fun just having a platform or something just to express yourself. I don't think many people get how much that means when you can do it like this on a consistent basis. No, but yeah, it's just
Yeah,
been so much. Getting to know all the good guys. Like Crystal said, even becoming friends outside of Inter. All that jazz. It's been a journey. It's been emotional. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
love
for
that.
sure. Yeah, it's been
no,
great.
for sure. I,
And
I, I wanted to touch on that. I'm sorry, Mikey.
oh no,
Like
go ahead,
Ian
go ahead.
said, Ian said, yeah, it's something that I guess at this point maybe we are taking for granted a little bit. It's very important. It's a privilege to have a platform to actually come every week and share your thoughts. You could only tweet so much. I know me personally, especially after a match like yesterday. I know we're gonna get into it, and also Udinese. I have so much I want to spill out, and Twitter could extend the characters all they want, but it's never gonna be enough. So just having this little forum of not only the four of us, but the people that always join, and knowing that they feel that pain, they could actually we could share that that pain together is a good release for me personally. So good point, Ian.
Yeah, yeah, and like everyone that has been around for however long, listening, watching. Now that we have moved, because we started out, it was all phone. I would just record into my phone, just audio. Hristo for at least a year was like, Mike, we have to start doing video, and I was like, no, I don't want to do video. I don't want to do video. And eventually, he convinced me. I came around, and now here we are. It's been great. And everyone who's listened, like, I mean, it's crazy sometimes just to see that, like, I mean, we have a pretty modest following. It's, it's in the triple digits, and every time I see that, I'm like, wow, like, I'm just some guy on the internet, or I'm just some guy. Like, it is cool to be able to share this experience with, you guys here, and then also everyone who listens or comments or anything. It's very cool. I just think about it a lot. I'm like, I'm just some guy, but it's awesome to me.
Yeah, I mean, thank you to everyone also who tunes in each episode to suffer with us, to listen to us chat shit.
Yeah, we couldn't do this if no one listened. I mean, we could, but it wouldn't be as fun. It's awesome to have the chat now and just be able to interact and
I mean,
make it a bigger thing.
If you remember, Mike, when we were discussing the name of the podcast, there were a lot of ideas, and this name just was suitable because all of us came from different backgrounds, from different countries, from different understandings, from different priorities, and to actually have a diverse bunch of people that can actually come in on consistent basis. And not that, but like, we've had so many people on the podcast, from a girl that supports Juventus to a guy that's been to a game, that's born in one country and lives in Florida. Like, from Chino, and from so many people that have come on the show, from Badar to many other that I cannot name right now
Yeah,
because
like Badar, Saf,
yeah,
a lot of guys. Saf, that was a cool one for me. We've had Mark on as well. They were from the original Interpod. That was the biggest for me. I can't find any episodes anymore, but that was the podcast that made me want to be like, I want to go on and win or lose, suffering, having fun. Like, I just want to talk about Inter, and so having those guys on, it was really cool.
yeah. The idea was never to to be something that we're not. The idea from day one was to. The idea actually was brought up when the original Interpod was shut down due to various reasons, and we were like, there has to be a space that us fans and other people can come on, and, as Dave said, vent. That was the term that I used back then. Like, I'm not a person that actually texts or tweets. I'm a person that likes and retweets, and I'm just watching, and I can come on here and say whatever I want to say, and that has been the idea from day one. And to have a place that we can do that, and so many people can come on, and I've said since a long time ago that anyone can reach out to us and come on the podcast if they want to say a thing or two. We've done not many, but I would say some interesting spaces on Twitter, and anyone that wanted to talk, they can talk and express their feelings, and we can arrange something for them to come on. So it's been a pleasure, not only for us, but to every single person that interacted with us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess it's kind of, we got to get into what we came here for. I've been kind of putting it off. Don't really want to talk about the sad. Matthias over here, he says, so sad the team decided to ruin the 100th show. It's not ruined. If anything, it's fitting. It's very fitting. I always enjoy it more when a milestone is hit or something, and I'm like, damn, Inter lost the last match. That's perfect. Like, because that's 90% of following any football team in the world. Unless you're following like Real Madrid, then I think your
Yeah.
suffering is like what, like winning 1-0 and it being ugly. So if you support a team and you support them for more than just the wins, you do a lot of suffering, and I think documenting that that's the beautiful thing of football. Is there's more losses than wins, but that makes the wins even sweeter. But yeah, I guess we'll start with Udinese. Well, you guys were there for it on here, proverbially on YouTube.com. But how did it like? I don't even know what to say about that match. It felt like a carbon copy. Like inter matches feel scripted right now. You go up early and then boom, nothing.
Sorry, Mike.
Um,
Just like the fact that Ian's reveal of his feet was the most interesting part of the 2 hour stream tells you a lot of things that you cannot express with words. That's
Oi,
it.
oi, respect my feet.
yeah, apparently we had a foot reveal.
What
I've
is
been
going
hearing about the
on?
foot
What is
reveal.
going on?
I've been hearing about this famed foot reveal. I think I'm just gonna leave it to my imagination, but yeah, not a good match. Every match seems lately Inter go up, and then you can just kind of feel that it's not gonna stay that way, and that's what Udinese was to me. And it was just the worst combination of all of that. And you get the De Boer flavor of someone getting taken off ridiculously early. Um, it was not great. It was not great. But Dave, you said you had the most that you wanted to get out, so I'm gonna shut up for a little bit and let everyone else release their inner
This
demons.
will be fun.
Well, I mean, to be honest, the fact that the game happened yesterday and thank God we didn't record right away, I've had time to, I guess, process a little bit and calm myself down. Of course, the most common thing you'll see right now on Inter Twitter is Inzaghi out. Who would you want to replace him? He's lost the locker room. Blah 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 blah. Don't get me wrong. I've been critical of Inzaghi. He has his faults. There's plenty of things that I personally, as a fan, feel like he could do better as a manager. But right now, as things stand, we're still in a position where I feel like he still gives us a best shot being successful, whether that is at this point still Scudetto, whether we're thinking about that, or whether that is just securing top four. I don't see it in a position for us to be able to fire him, continue to pay him, and then hire somebody competent enough to bring the result we want. If we were to fire him right now, it's probably going to be Stankovic, who does not have the experience at all, or we're gonna have to pick up probably somebody like a Ranieri, something like that. I know we wouldn't, but just to give you an idea of the kind of manager we would have to get in the interim. So that was my long-winded way of just saying, hey, listen, it's not looking good right now, but compared to Udinese and Milan, for example, or even Lazio, I feel like yesterday against Roma was not a bad match from us at all, quite frankly, because I feel like we're the best team. We had many more shots than them. They scored on the two shots that they had. Of course, it's debatable whether both should have been goals, especially the first one. But other than that, we hit the crossbar. We had plenty of chances. We had that shot with Aslani that looked like it was in. So we dominated the match, and I feel like it was just a matter of bad luck. If we can if we like the performance, I feel like the result will definitely follow.
Yeah. The performance wasn't what really got me. I mean, there were times where I think, especially after the first goal, there was a drop in confidence. There was like a damn, we didn't get this to halftime. Like, because once it hit about like 35 minutes, that's only like 5 minutes after the goal. But I was like, if we get this to halftime, we're gonna be fine. If we don't get this to halftime, things are gonna happen. And yeah, that's when Roma got their goal. But like the Hakan free kick off the crossbar, like another inch that's in. Who knows what happens after that? Aslani, that shot was great. Hakan had
Speaking
another
of
chance in the
inches,
first half.
speaking of inches, we could talk about the Dzeko offside as well, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, I don't know how he didn't get onside. I thought he had made that step at the right moment, and we never saw a replay. I'm not gonna put my tinfoil hat on, but I would have liked to see the replay.
Yeah. No, I think from what I saw, I think he was because it was more of a bang bang play. It wasn't conventional. It was more like a deflection, and then he ended up stepping ahead of the defender. So yeah, I think it was off. I'm not complaining about it. What's up, Hristo and Ian? What's going on? You guys want to share your thoughts? Everybody wants to laugh.
When you said speaking of interest, I just thought of myself and felt sorry for myself. So
Oh
Oh,
my God.
yeah,
there are things I can help you with that, bro. I'm sorry.
yeah. Sorry, don't mind me. I was just laughing at that the reaction and
Are you saying we need to get better at segues?
Yeah.
Speaking of inches, Hristo's OnlyFans now has a 25% discount.
Oh my god. Well, we got Fern saying that Ian needs to drop the only feed.
Oh,
So,
wait.
oh
Yo,
my
when
god.
I said that was the most interesting part of the stream, you were laughing at me. Who's laughing now?
That's what's remembered.
But like talking about that game, as you guys pointed out, the only thing that I want to say is that it's embarrassing. Throughout the years, I think we have all developed PTSD from Udinese, especially myself. I'm the first one to admit that shit. From Cyril Tero to Di Natale to Rodrigo De Paul to Bussetto, every single fucker that played for them, I hate. From the bottom of my heart, they have caused so much PTSD in my life. There's no words that I can describe how I feel about that team. And just when we play against them at an early game, I'm like, God help us, because the streak that we were part of, and not having Lukaku is abysmal. When Conte was here, the only thing that was valid, among other things, was having Lukaku available for every single match. He was the only guy that you can rely on to be amazing game in, game out. That's not the case with Inzaghi and this Inter, because without Lukaku we are lost. Like, we have no fucking play. The defense, you know, uh, I love Skriniar, but the contract situation, I can only imagine that the toll that it took him to process everything, to be part of negotiations with Inter, having offers from PSG, having offers that you don't like from Marotta and the management. That everything takes a toll. De Vrij is, what can I say, subpar, let's say.
I think he's
Acerbi has
done.
been.
I don't think he's the starter
I
anymore.
I just don't think as well. I think Acerbi, who I don't think he's the player that he was years ago. I do love him, but as a bench option, he has been better than De Vrij has been this season, and that says a lot. We are relying on guys that are just not good enough for Inter, and we're slowly but surely falling off from the top. There are teams that have surged to the top. Look at Napoli, Atalanta have been playing amazing this season. Milan have been winning matches that they do not deserve to win, and that's a championship mentality. So I think the Udinese match is just a glimpse of what we have seen, or basically like the embodiment of we have been seeing throughout the past month. And hopefully that turns out to be okay at the end of the season. I know you guys and myself, I want to be optimistic, but look, we don't have the team, nor the team mentality or the team spirit to win the Scudetto, as we have seen so far. The season is short. The season stops in a month and a half. So at the end, 18th of I think at the 18th of November, the World Cup starts. So basically, we have less than a month and a half to progress and make something out of nothing. That's it. 1 month, and then we are without Inter for 3 months. So I don't know if they're thinking about the same thing that we are saying and thinking. I'm just not sure that they comprehend that the season ends in a month, and then you'll be playing with the national team for 2 months at least.
Yeah, I
So
mean, the last match before the World Cup, I know we're looking pretty far now, but I mean, it's really only a month and I'm bad at math. A month and 11 days. So was that like
when is it?
41 days? It's November 13, Atalanta
So less than a
away.
1 month, 1 month and a half.
Yeah, and it's Atalanta away. That's
Oh my
right
god.
after a run of Bayern, Juve, and then Bologna. But I mean, the way this
Oh
team
my
plays
god.
Bologna has not been great recently. And then the first match back is against Napoli, so get right back into it. So it's going to be interesting, and you do need to pick up points here in this early I don't know, stage of the season? Is this like, are we like running like F1 or something right now? You have stages right now, like with football, but it's you got to get some points here soon. It's hard to see where they're gonna come, honestly, though. I mean, Lukaku still not gonna be back. Um, I'm starting to get to the point where if he doesn't get healthy, if we don't see him for more than 10 matches this season, I don't want him back. I'm cutting bait. Just go find someone else that you can get on a real contract. Love the guy, but if he can't stay fit, then there's no point. That's kind of where I'm getting. I think that's one of my hotter takes right now. But yeah, I'm almost ready to cut bait with Lukaku if he can't get fit
Oh no, I
because
don't. I don't think. I don't. I'm sorry, bro. I don't think
no,
it's
no,
it's a hot take at all. Actually, I feel like that's what most of us Inter fans were saying anyway. When we first got Lukaku back on loan, and the Chelsea fans were saying he's shit, his dad, he kept getting hurt, he's unmotivated, is this, is that. We're saying it's just a loan, it's a dry loan actually. So if anything, he needs to convince us to keep him, or else we just send him back. At the end of the day, it sucks that the fact that so far it's so early in the season, but so far he's not performing, but that also coincides with us not performing as well. It shows that maybe whatever Inzaghi was preparing was like very dependent on Lukaku, So we still don't see what that team is supposed to look like yet because we've only seen Lukaku 3 matches. And what I'm the most worried about is because at his size, it takes him a while to get back into full fitness. So even if he comes back against Sassuolo that we're playing next week, which is not even a guarantee, I expect him to be the same sluggish Lukaku we saw against Lecce. He's gonna be slow. He's gonna look a little fat. He's gonna be gassed soon, and he usually needs a month to play himself back into that top fitness. And guess what? By the time he's gonna be hitting that, he's gonna be going into the World Cup. So at the end of the day, we're gonna be the ones that are fucked at the end of the day. So yeah, just to go back to what you said, Mikey. Yeah, if he doesn't carry us to Scudetto or very close, and he's one of our best performers, yeah, we let him go because he's our highest earner right now. So, hey, listen, bye, and let's go find somebody else.
yeah. Speaking of Scudetto, do we still are we still looking for a Scudetto challenge from this team? I'm kind of getting to the point where I want to drop the expectation a little bit around the team and just like take it, one goal at a time. Just get Champions League first, honestly. Like, not saying that you can't go challenge, but saying that you need to find the results to get you back in the top four before you go talking about.
No, I feel you. I feel you. But the thing is, no, I'm not. I'm not even close to giving up on the Scudetto challenge. Here's why: because I think last year around the same time, not around the same time. Well, in the beginning of the season, at some point we were 8 points behind Napoli and Milan, right? Which is where we are right now with 30 matches to play. And guess what? Your best player hasn't even played. You understand? So we have quote unquote excuses, even though it doesn't look good on the pitch. But I feel like had we been struggling like that with Lukaku playing all of the matches, then it would have been something like alarm, like listen, because where do we even look for a solution? Now it's easy to look at, oh man, had we had Lukaku, we would have been able to do this, would have been able to do that. One of the
But
things that
Dave,
the team struggles. Let me finish this
wait,
point real quick, bro.
okay.
One of the things that the team struggle with the most, in my opinion, is pace, and that's one thing that Lukaku will definitely help us solve. But yeah, go ahead, bro.
No, my point was that, we've said the same thing about Sensi when he was at Inter. Oh, if Sensi was not injured, oh, if he was playing, because the span that he had at Inter, the first month and a half, he was the best player in Europe, full stop. And we've said so many times, oh, if you had him, but it turns out like Lukaku has become the Sensi of the season. Last season, the concern that you said Chelsea fans had on him was that he became injury prone, which I laughed off. I mean, Lukaku was never injured for Inter 6 months ago, and now you're saying he's injury prone. The fuck? It turns
Mm-hmm.
out like he's not able to recover. Like, are we cursed? because I'm seeing today since he scored for Monza and he has not been injured this season and he scored like 2 goals in the past 4 matches.
Mm.
Like, what's happening? How can Lukaku become injury prone when he was like literally the anchor of Inter 1.5 years
Yeah.
ago?
I'm not honestly. I'm not quite ready to compare him to Sensi quite yet because I want to give him a chance to come back from this injury because I have a feeling that he could have played this week and that they're being extra cautious because I had read an article saying that they don't want to take any chances. They want to make sure he's back to full fitness so he doesn't re-injure himself. Now, if he does come back and then next thing you know, he plays 3 matches and then he has to stop. He plays another 4, he has to stop. Then yeah, I'll start giving that to you. But yeah, to be honest with you, it's I see a pattern is beginning to form because last year, you know, bring last year he had a little muscle injuries at Chelsea. So if that continues, then of course that's the formation of a pattern. But I still have him in mind as the guy that you mentioned as well. That we know for sure, one thing for sure, that Lukaku was going to be available for us when he was at Inter. So that's still how I think about him. I'm like, okay, maybe he's probably struggling with a little injury, but once he gets back, he'll be that monster for us again. I want to wait some more because again, still 30 matches to go. That's an eternity, and you know we could just chip at it. Let's say next week somebody draws and we win. We back to 6 points within the league and stuff like that. You know, I'm not ready to give up.
Got to
But
start winning some
something we
head-to-head
have
matches
to
like this, though. Like with this Roma match, these are the matches for me that decide. Like, yeah, I'm pretty confident when Inter goes up against someone in the bottom of the Serie A because the bottom of the whole of Serie A has gotten worse. I mean, we've already lost 4 matches. We're not that far out. But beating teams like Roma, like Lazio, I need to start seeing that from Inzaghi. I'm not trying to put his head on a plate or anything. I'm just saying, like, chop chop, come on, like we need this shit. Like
no, but
it's
like
getting a little too late.
something has to change like drastically because this just ain't it, you know. The team looks unmotivated, no clue what they're doing. It's basically
I thought they
no
looked better. I
tactics,
thought
just look around.
I'll push back against that a little bit, but just because this match against Roma, I felt like there was a bit of an identity. It's just like once you bottom out that hard and you go back to the drawing board, it's like starting the season over again. So like I'm not too mad with this loss, but I still see where you're coming from. But I feel like it's getting better.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
the
I
players
agree.
we have, we should be doing a lot better with
Well, it
the
should
players.
be, yeah. I mean,
Well, of course, but um, in comparison to the previous matches, we can't deny that there was improvement yesterday. So yeah, I'm with you, Mikey, on that one. It seems more to me that this team struggles with lapses of concentration. You know, at times you would be like, okay, we're playing well. It looks like we're figured it out. Our defense looked solid at many times of the game yesterday. You didn't see Dybala and Zaniolo until but Barella and Hakan found a way to give him that ball, perfect counter for them, and then boom, we concede a goal. You know, it's just those lapses, and then you're looking at the second goal we conceded on the free kick. That's elementary stuff. You're looking at a guy running wide open. He didn't do any tricks. There wasn't any picks. Usually they practice some stuff and training where they would have somebody come stand in your way to free up another guy. None of that happened. We just straight up lost a man. So it's just those mistakes that are so frustrating. And that I'm saying is it's more like lapses of concentration as opposed to an unmotivated team or a team that gave up on a manager.
But it's been a pattern like this for the last God how many knows games. We dominating quotations like the first 20 to 25 minutes. Then we fucking gonna have to fight for our lives, and then towards the end of the game we maybe fight back again. But like in the middle, it's just dumb. It's been like this for the past month. It's been like that versus Udinese. I'm just looking here at the schedule. It's been like that even against Victoria Poznan until they got the red card. It's been like that against Torino when we scraped the 1-0 win. It's been like that against Milan. You know, we score first, but then it's like everything just flies out the window. You know, these guys forget who
Yeah.
they are. They're being paid millions to play, to kick about with the
Yeah.
ball and they forget everything.
That's what Mikey said. That's what Mikey said. It feels like our matches are kind of scripted this year. So yeah, I agree with you on that, Ian. And that's kind of sucks because watching the match yesterday, after the DeMarco goal, I didn't even go up and tweet because it's like I knew something was coming back. I like those guys are making me really lose that confidence that I usually have in them. Usually, I'm the confident guy telling you guys, why are you guys not being confident? Why are you guys saying we're gonna lose? Why are you guys not saying we're gonna win? But I'm getting to a point now where it's like I'm watching inter matches and I'm expecting the worst, and it's not a fun thing. So I need those guys to really turn things around. These these things, those matches are usually the part of my week that I look forward to the most. So they can't be ruining that for me. So I need them to really fix it up.
Yeah, yeah. It almost feels like a chore sometimes. Like
Yeah,
being like, I gotta
now it's
watch this.
beginning to feel like a chore. I don't really watch it like, oh, okay, I'm about to watch my boys. Now it's like, oh, I have to watch it.
Yeah.
All right, but like looking ahead, right, towards the World Cup, we have Barcelona home, Sassuolo away, Barcelona away, Salernitana home,
Sassuolo
Fiorentina.
away. Oh, I feel worse for that than like either Barcelona game.
Yeah,
And
you know,
Sassuolo just came off a big win too. I think they just beat a team 4-0 or 5-0 or
but
something.
Yeah, yeah. They beat the crap out of Salernitana,
but
which I mean,
like
I guess isn't too hard.
Lukaku
Yeah.
is still questionable. Brozovic is out for what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, Lautaro too,
Yeah.
So
possibly.
Lautaro injured now, apparently. Good, fantastic. I mean,
I mean,
can we
Correa
really
Dzeko,
expect?
honestly, I mean, it works better than Dzeko Lautaro. So, I mean, maybe if Correa can stay fit, something happens.
Can
Yeah.
we expect
And
anything from this
and
team?
I mean, not against
I don't know.
Barcelona, to be honest. Let's
Right.
be
So
honest
okay,
about
I think
that.
we can agree that we're gonna crash out the UCL then.
Well, yeah, this is a big moment for the Champions League campaign. It's either you win this and you keep throwing your best shot at it until you can't. But if you lose this one, yeah, it's just like, all right, you know what? Like we got to make sure we're back here next year, so let's turn our focus. But then we're going to be stuck with Europa League. I mean, I don't know
Oh,
what you
that
guys
will be
would
fun,
want to
Mike.
do with that. I mean,
Yeah, and
uh
that's what I'm saying. And it's not like Victoria are even showing the signs of a team that are gonna pick up points in the group, and then they're gonna actually legitimately be the third best team. The only way we would be crashing out of Europe altogether is by throwing matches, and we're not gonna do that. So yeah, it's very likely that we're still gonna have to play that midweek match, but it's not gonna be in the competition that we want. So we're still gonna have to deal with the pressures of having a tired squad or having all of that, but it's still gonna be because we just came from playing in Moldova or some shit like that.
yeah, we're going to
So
be going like Finland and shit in the middle of the winter.
So during the season with a record number of matches, we're gonna be playing even more irrelevant matches. Great.
I mean, I guess one positive. The only thing that I like when we're in the Europa League is I do get to see some new faces usually. So like it would be some time for a guy like Bellanova, who I thought came on and did all right yesterday. You see guys like him, Aslani some more. He just like I really liked him yesterday. I think he needs to gain some comfort in that position because he doesn't pick his head up as much as Brozovic does, but that's also to be expected from a guy who's played like
yeah.
30 senior football matches. So I
Hmm.
mean,
No,
it's proving ground. We saw Carboni yesterday too. It would be a chance to see the
exactly.
guys like that. That's
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
positive I can give for Europa League.
I don't know what you guys think about that. First, I wanted to touch on Aslani. Personally, I felt like he was almost flawless. Of course, we have probably the best register in the world, and Brozovic. So that standard is very high. But I felt like he was very good. He played with courage. He was running. He was covering the places he wanted to cover. He needed to cover. He did. Rose was rolling. He even had himself a goal. So for a 20-year-old, I think he was very, very good. I'd give him a 7 out of 10. And you see that even the crowd kind of understood that and they encouraged him. Like he did a tackle and stuff, something significant, and they were still clapping and cheering him on. And I was happy to see Villanova, but at this point, it kind of feels like that's going to be his role, like throwing a late throw in, because that's been what his third appearance of the season, and it's been the same way. I don't know what Inzaghi's waiting on to give him extensive minutes, so he can actually play himself into the match, feel confident, and actually we could see what he can do. And finally, Carboni. I wanted to know what you guys feel about that. I don't know if it was more of a desperate move by Inzaghi, or if it was more like, okay, you know what, this kid is playing very well. He deserves a shot. We need a goal, so let me throw him in. It's up to interpretation, I guess. But I think he looked good, man. I think he looked like a player. He's much bigger than I thought for some reason, and he looks the part already. So I mean, I'd like to give him some minutes to see what we really have there. What do you guys think?
What's his position on it? Like, I sound really stupid right now, but there's like two of
No,
them, and then there was Casa de too many C's. I don't know
no,
what
he's like
position he plays.
he's like a second striker, or he can also play as an attacking midfielder. So I wouldn't mind seeing him munch a couple of Korea's minutes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think we can really argue with that. I mean, the Inter is not a club where you typically see that, but maybe it's getting to a point where Inzaghi's like, all right, I got to reach down my bench and show some of these guys are not that they're not mainstays like completely. I mean, it is tough to see like I don't know some of these guys get on the pitch over someone like Gosens who did get on the pitch, but of course super late. Um, I, I I don't know what's going. I still don't understand that situation. I don't know if Hristo wants to name someone the Cincy of the team. It's got to be Gosens, which is a shame. Um, yeah, it's such a weird situation, man. But I don't know something in the chaos to be able to see the guys like the Carbonis and the Bellanovas. I mean, at least we're seeing something. Maybe we see Onana take over after a not so convincing Handanovic match. I mean, it's just Handanovic's level. I'm not saying he's doing worse than what we expect, but maybe you just get a spark
Yeah,
from there.
because the expectations are low. Um, I mean, do we expect anything else?
What do you say,
Probably
Ian?
not. Yeah, yeah. I didn't want to put Ian on the spot, but like, I'm sorry, we have to go there, like, because there
All right,
is his predecessor, or not predecessor, his
all right,
successor on the
look.
bench.
I've been having to fight for my life in some group chats. I ain't talking goalkeeping with anyone that hasn't actually played goalkeeper.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look, it's just simple as that. There's no convincing anyone else. It's.
Fair.
I
So
mean,
you
look,
don't plan on
if
discussing it
if
with Handanovic either, huh?
if you actually played goalkeeper, right? The
You
first
gotta.
goal that everyone says the Dybala goal, that he should have saved it.
Sorry,
My
wait a
man,
second. You're not serious with what you're saying right now. Just look,
my man had to run from
give me a
one
sec.
post
Play. Whoa,
to
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa, whoa,
other.
whoa, whoa,
The
whoa, whoa,
shot
whoa, whoa.
was towards him and
Wait a
above it.
second, Ian.
Mate, there's not a lot you can do.
Tutti e
There's not a
Dante.
lot you can do.
Shh. Please, before you say anything, think about it. Because you're defending a guy that has committed like fucking atrocities on humankind. This will be discussed in The Hague one day, you know? Like, this is embarrassing what we are seeing about. Like, you are getting money, millions of euros on fucking yearly basis for 10 fucking years
But I
to
mean,
do
what's
fuck
Handanovic
all.
supposed to do? Say, "Don't put me in, coach." Like, give him the whole like De
No, 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 no,
Rossi,
no. Be
to Ventura
fucking better.
2018.
No, no, be better. You fucking idiot of a fucking keeper. You're a fucking bro. You're a captain. You are a captain. You should be, you know, boosting the team. You should be the first one to take the fall for everyone else. You should not be defending yourself. Oh, but look at this. No, bro, you fucked up. And I'm the first one to say when I'm wrong. And I've been wrong fucking 100 times. And I've said, Handanovic, oh, you had a great game. And we've said so many times throughout the year, throughout the 3.5 years that we're recording, he has been shit for so many games. And he has not come on once and said, oh, sorry, I had a fucking bad game. Not once. You know, how many games in the past he has been the one to say, "Oh, we should do better." No, bro, you should do better before everyone else. You're the captain. Take the fall. If Inzaghi with three fucking brain cells can say, "Oh, it's my fault that we did this, we did that," you take the fall. It's your fault. My the biggest grievance that I had with him was that he showed zero passion for the fucking team throughout the 10 or 11 years that he has been here. Zero passion. Not once he has come out and said, "Oh, it's my fault." Not once he has said, "Oh, sorry, I fucked up." Not once he has come out and said, "Oh, I'm the captain. I should do better before everyone else. I should be example before everyone else is." Not once. And he has been here for 11 years. He had mentors, like, if you can say mentors, with Cesar, with Zanetti, and he has gained nothing from that. The biggest grievance, as I said, besides that, is that he never, I hate when keepers, it's a goal. Okay, show passion. Don't just stand there. You're the captain once again. You should be the one that sparkles everything, and not like you could see a goal. Oh, fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. You're getting money from that. Not all of us watching the games, talking shit about the games, everyone joining the chat. We've all spent countless fucking hours on the team. We have gained nothing. To do what? Like, we have more passion. Like, so every single one of us has showed more passion than Handanovic has given in any interview, any single game. And that's my grind with him. He's an okay keeper, nothing else than that. He has never been world class. He has never been good. He had never been great. Yeah, he had great saves, and he was amazing. Yeah, but he had fucking Silvestre and Julio Jesus in front of him. Of course, me and Ian can be better than that. Like, the bar is so low back then. It was so low back then, and that's the grind. Like, awful. Like, his career will be nothing at Inter. Nothing.
I'm not gonna go that far. I mean, he still had a career, still won everything you can win in Italy, but I do think that he has done
Okay, sorry.
a lot of tarnish to his
Okay.
reputation.
Gagliardini has won everything that he has won with Inter. As
Okay,
much as
but
Professor.
Gagliardini did it from the bench, being the guy, being like Liguria man. Like, we know what that level is.
Yeah, I think I was with you in Hristo, but of course you went too far. There's
But
no
to
point.
me,
There's no defending that he at this point he's garbage. He's a liability to the team. He has been for about 2 years now, maybe three even. But there's no even forgetting as well. Like when we were going through the Bento era, he was probably our best player along with Icardi.
yeah,
He
but
kept us from being
that's what
embarrassed in
I'm
a lot of
saying,
matches.
Dave.
Mhm.
The bar was so low. We had no quality players back then. Like, let's be honest.
No,
I
but he was
again,
still a world class keeper, regardless of
oh,
what
fuck
other keeper.
that. World
He
Well,
class
was.
okay,
He
keeper.
just
I'm
didn't
not,
have the.
I'm not gonna argue that.
He
So,
didn't have the
but
presence of a world class goalkeeper. I'll give
no,
you that. I
no,
like
that's
what
just not
Hristo
his
was saying with
personality.
that. Yeah, that he didn't have the presence, and that's what held him back. That's how he stayed at Inter for so long, even when he was at the peak of his power. It's the same thing with Icardi. Like, teams would come sniff around Icardi, but until he was like absolutely like Napoleon banished and like sent to go live on the island that is PSG's bench, like nobody came for him. Nobody like seriously came in. Um, and it was because the two best players at Inter were great players, but they had character flaws. You had Icardi, who is he's just a novella star, and then you have Handanovic, who is just meek. I guess is that a word? Is that a word you can use? He's just quiet. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't hold a presence. I mean, yeah, he's very regal, whatever, but like at some point you do have to, take the gloves off. And I
Yeah.
proverbially
No, I
argue
think
it's funny for a keeper, but he doesn't take his gloves off. I'll say that.
yeah, I think he's just the captain because of seniority. At that point that we were stripping Cardi from the armband, he had been the player that has been there the longest, along with Icardi. So he became the captain. He has a good personality as far as not getting into trouble. He's a professional. He comes to work and he's consistent well, he was consistent at that time. So I guess that's why they let him be the captain. So I don't think it's a guy that you looked at the locker room and you like, who's the leader of the locker room? Who's the personality that everybody rallies to and stuff? And you say, hey, this is Andanovic. I think it was more by default type of thing, and he has been our captain ever since. I hope that the next captain is more chosen in that way as opposed to who's been there the longest, But I don't know. I didn't expect us to be having this conversation on the podcast this year, to be honest, man. Last year I defended him because who was sitting behind him was Radu, But now you have a guy that he's so good. He can
He
be a
has more
world class
Champions League
goalkeeper.
games than like Samir's
Oh
entire
God,
career.
entire career, but you still dragging it out. So that's it really grinds my gear, man. It's like it just shows Inzaghi's personality. He's just a coward. He's scared to make the tough decisions. He's clinging on to what seems safe to him. And at the end of the day, I think the only reason why it's not costing him his job is because we can't afford to sack him. That's it. And maybe he knows, and maybe that's why he's acting the way he's acting. I didn't like his press conference before the match either. When he came and said, "If you check my record, wherever I go, teams win. The losses are halved, and we win trophies." Talking about the Mickey Mouse trophies that he's won. Um, Somebody needs to knock at his door and remind him that those trophies means fuck all for us at Inter. Last year we took him as uh consolation, but we're not taking him again this year. The expectations are different. But other than that, I think it's just a matter of us being in the situation that we're in right now. We can't fire the guy, and we have to hope that he can turn it around.
Do
Yo,
you know what reminded me of his press conference? In the
mm,
Premier League this season, I don't know how much you guys follow the Prem. When Scott Parker did the press conference right before he was fired, I was like, yeah, but with me, this team is like this, but like no one's gonna prove it or some shit like that, And then he was fired. This is what this reminded me of, like the last fucking Hail Mary.
Just drop the bona fides and then get fired.
Yeah, basically.
No, no,
Really
I don't. He's not. He's not getting sacked. I mean, people. The funniest thing I saw one of the big questions. I think it was Fed and Azura asking who would you have as the next manager, and someone said like Zidane, and I was just like, now how? On what planet? Like, do you have you watched the past like 2 years of Inter? Like, there's no money. They're aging. Zidane would no, that's not happening. That's the one that to me has that's La La Land. That's beyond wherever that is. That one killed me.
bro, sacking the manager is the easiest thing you can do in football because you already have a sacrificial lamb to hold on to. Just sack off the manager and that's it. It's easier than sacking 20 people in the management that actually brought that guy in. Like, you brought him in and you know his playstyle. You do what? Sign Acerbi, sign Mkhitaryan, get Lukaku on loan, get injury prone Gosens, and say, oh, this is a pile of shit, do something. Like,
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I personally, like, I'm upset about where the team is right now. When we're definitely underachieving, we're shit. But I'm not gonna revise all those things because in the summer, I know me personally, I was happy with a lot of the moves. Mkhitaryan, I was happy with it because we needed an attacking midfielder to cover for Hakan. Lukaku, I was happy with it because we all felt like adding him to a team that was creating so many chances would be a no-brainer. Aslani, we were happy with it. So it's like, let's not say that right now they gave a guy a pile of shit because things aren't looking good, you know.
I mean, it's what we're seeing on the pitch.
But
Like,
how much
we're
of this is this argument that I've heard on Studio Inter, the Simpre pod that Nima makes, and I think it's a pretty decent argument where he says that Inzaghi was told that it was going to be Bremer so he could play a different defensive structure, and you were going to get probably Dybala, like guys like that,
exactly
and
my
those
point.
fell through, and this is a different team, and football, it doesn't move as fast as it feels like it moves. Like when you fire a manager, that ripple lasts. Like you don't see the real consequences of that until 6 months to a year down the road, unless it really
I
is,
agree.
just the world's most toxic
Hmm.
environment and throwing that guy out is actually going to save something. But like we're still seeing, you know, the knock-on effects of
Hmm.
Suning being told by the Chinese government not to, be as involved, being, the pandemic happening, so Inter can't even, be self-sufficient because self-sufficiency in Serie A is impossible. Um, we're just seeing now the like last of the Conte Pintus, mentality and fitness wearing
Yeah.
off. We're seeing all of this, and like also now we're seeing where, plans to refresh the squad didn't go through, and now we're seeing more aging. Where you're seeing De Vrij now, you're seeing we've been seeing Handanovic. The writing's been on the wall there for a while, but I feel like it's just a culmination of so many things that have gone down the line for so many years that it's gonna take time to still recover even. But I mean that's a very long winding explanation, but I do think that this team was built, or Inzaghi built this team for a different structure, and when those players didn't come and he still tried to play the same structure, it didn't work because the players didn't fit those holes. So
Yeah.
he's had to
I
redo the whole
mean,
thing again.
I've heard Nima make that point several times, and I agree with it to a certain extent. But at this point, the way I feel is that it's been 2 months since we took that embarrassment where Bremer went to Juve and we lost Dybala. So at which point is Inzaghi gonna make the adjustments to where we need to be? At this point, it seems like he wanted to play with a high line and all of that stuff. I get it, but you don't have the players for it. Then do the opposite. If you have to play with a very low line, play more defensively and all that, do it. So that's where I'm at. He's not budging yet, or at this point, if he is budging, we're not seeing it 100% on the pitch yet. I'm saying 100% because I did see some improvement against yesterday, regardless of the result, but we're not seeing it 100% yet.
Well, I mean, the thing for me is like it's not just like, playing football manager or playing FIFA or something where you can just flip a formation, just with one button and the players automatically go there and they know where they're supposed to be. Like it does take time.
Mhm.
And I just think that whatever
Well,
Inzaghi decides to do, it's going to take time to implement. I do think he should have been more proactive. He is a very reactive coach. Um, but he's reacting now, even if it's slow.
yeah. See, here's the thing. If we were playing with a high line before or whatnot, and then let's say we lost the players that would allow us to play the high line, and I understand, like, okay, you know what, we've been playing that way the whole year, we lost the players, now we suddenly have to change our style of play. It's gonna take time. It's gonna be a struggle. I'd get that. But if we played away last season, and then he was planning on changing it this season, and then he didn't get the players, how hard could it be to just revert back to what you were doing last season? If it is that simple, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, we're just people on the internet speculating. We don't know what's really going on. There are people that are even saying that they feel like he lost the team. The players don't want him, and this and that, and so you get all type of takes.
Yeah, I think the dressing room thing's overblown. I think, there probably definitely are players that aren't happy that they've almost been sold and that, anyone can be sold at any moment. And it was a weird transfer window. Like, I'm sure it's very easy not to be happy with that, but I don't think they're directing it at the manager. I don't think they're trying to, have
I
issues with
agree.
Inzaghi. But I mean, there
Yeah,
are clear like frustrations, but I feel like Inzaghi's probably frustrated. Like the Bastoni thing last week, he was frustrated. Barella goes in and out of his own universe. Um, it's just, I think that there's too many. It's almost too many things. I don't have enough fingers to point at all the things that are off. Like I only have so many, so like there's just it's hard to synthesize every nuance because there's too much nuance. It's not just, oh, manager has pissed off and alienated the players. Like this isn't like a
yeah.
Tuchel situation. Like it's different.
No, I agree. But for what it means, Demarco came out and said that we're all behind the manager, we support him, and we believe in him, and all that stuff. So, uh, for what it's worth, if you want to believe that, then it's great. He still has the locker room. But personally, I do.
Demarco's got to say that though, man, because like Inzaghi's giving him playing time over Gosens. He's like, "Thanks, coach. I
Yeah,
trust
yeah.
you."
Inzaghi is the best thing that could have happened to Demarco's career, to be honest. Like, is he's been playing him, whether it's left center back or whether it's left wing back. He loves him some Demarco, bro.
I mean, it's kind of working out. I thought yesterday it wasn't bad. He's still like what, like 20, 30. We don't have to do a Demarco episode, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, please don't.
No, but I still honestly I still prefer Gosens there, man, because it's just the pace and the ability to cover ground. Like I feel like on a counter, if you have Demarco running ahead of you, for example, you don't go too far. He's a short guy. He's not too quick. He doesn't cover that much ground. Whereas Gosens with his long legs and stuff, he stretches the field a little more, almost like Dumfries. I don't know. We've last time we've seen him start was the Champions League, and he did decent. I mean, I don't know what's taking so long to see the man start in the league now. I really want to see him get a full start.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, like that's where I'm at. I'm like, I don't know because there's so much that could be changed that hasn't been changed because of, just Inzaghi's. The thing is like we thought he was this, more European coach that was like gonna be more modern than the regular Italian manager, but he has started to just get that stubbornness and those holding on to players that maybe you shouldn't be holding on to. It's the same thing that we see from a lot of managers in this league, and I thought that's what we were not getting. So that's been pretty disappointing to me, honestly.
There's no alternative right now. Like, that's the only
What
solution that we have.
the Handanovic still starting,
Look,
Demarco still
I'm
starting.
I'm the
Like there
first
are
one to
still
say,
things that could be changed. Jeko Lautaro again. Like there's things.
what's the alternative to that, Mike? I know,
Jeko
like,
Correa Lautaro.
Kura has been fucking. I don't want his name mentioned that he ever played for Inter. That's it.
Damn.
Like, just forget that he ever arrived at Inter. But like, look, I'll be the first one to say like I don't agree with Handanovic starting. That's besides the point. I'm not the one that gets the millions of euros for a salary from Inter. He's the one that gets the salary. He's the one that makes the decisions. We can only criticize, agree, and disagree. I can disagree with every single decision that he made, from Handanovic starting to the stubbornness that he has, to the changes that he makes that are absolutely unnecessary. But what's the alternative? Like, who Zidane is not coming. Who else is? Like, Tuchel's not coming. That's for sure. What's the alternative?
Gianpaolo just
What's
got
the
sacked.
hmm?
Gianpaolo just got sacked from
No,
Sampdoria.
not that's a joke. That's bait.
The board is available, I'm sure, but like, there's no alternative. Like, you can get behind him, and there's literally nothing else. You have a management that has been incompetent in the past 5 months. You have owners that are not willing to sell, but at the same time do not have money. You have an incompetent team and a manager that's stubborn. A management that brought Acerbi instead of Bremer. That's like, that's not even debatable. Like, s- I can understand losing Bremer. Like, Juventus paid at the end of like 50 something, almost 60 million for him. He is amazing, but fuck that, he's not worth it. I would much rather have Koulibaly at 31 for 40 than buy Bremer and wait for him to develop. Like, 60 million for a defender is still too much, especially for a guy that you're signing from Torino for Bremer. And I fucking loved Bremer throughout the summer. But there are certain things that we cannot gloss over, and that's the
Well, he's
first
also
thing.
not been great at Juve, so
But still, like, if we got him for like 40 mil, you will have patience because he's like 24, 25. I mean, Shkriniar, when he arrived at the league, he was, didn't he got like the golden something for one of the worst signings of the league?
Yeah,
and
but
he was
he was like 22 at that point. He was still younger.
I mean, Bremer is 24. I mean, 2 years.
2 years. By 2 years after he had gotten that, Skriniar was, one of the best defenders in the world.
I mean, Koulibaly at that age was still, an unknown player when he arrived. Yeah, like Koulibaly is what, 31, 32. Like Koulibaly 10 years ago was fucking playing with a Genk in Belgium. So like age for defenders and for goalkeepers is really eh. I mean, Thiago Silva, one of the best defenders in the world for the past 10 years, arrived at Milan at what, 20 something? Like pretty old, 25, 6, 7. So that doesn't mean anything, to be quite honest. Like you have still room to grow. It depends on you and the management and the trainings and the manager. So all the surrounding factors. I'm just saying there's no alternative. I'm not the biggest fan of Inzaghi, never have been. If we can get Zidane, go for it. But like, if the alternative is fucking De Zerbi, then fuck that. What's the point?
Yeah. Well, I guess we're pretty much back where we started. I think we're back to like, what do we do? We started out. We were like, what do we do? Then we gave some options. Now we're like, oh, what do we do? Because that's how it goes. That's because all we can do, like Hristo said, is we speculate, we agree, we disagree. We've walked it all the way back, so I think that's a perfect spot for us to wrap it up.
Can we look before when we finished with all the serious stuff? I was just scrolling in the group chat that me and you are with Chino from the beginning of the podcast, and the name that Chino suggested for the podcast was Brothers of the Third World, which is quite soothing, to be quite honest.
Oh my
The other,
god, I don't even remember that. Was that just y'all two, or was I there?
he was there.
Oh god.
Brothers of the Third World.
I mean,
When I
Macedonia
suggested,
and US.
Yeah, they would have had to kick me off.
I mean, North Carolina. Too good for
Wow.
That's
Uh,
fair. That's fair. I had like 5 megabit internet, so I mean,
oh, safe with the facts, Pastramalia. Um, when I suggested Brothers of the World, Mike said it's cheesy but fitting.
cheesy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was like, it's kind of a mouthful. I was thinking something shorter, but I mean, it's worked. We've shortened it. We have all our little things, so
Can
it worked out in the end.
and before going off for good, I have to play the intro and Mike's voice from the first episode.
All
I
right,
think
all right.
when we started the podcast, like
I'm not. Yeah, that's headphones off for that. Y'all can analyze. I can't do that one. I cannot do that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Brothers of the World podcast. This podcast is going to be the truly
It's so
international
loud, it's
podcast
coming through
with
my
us
headphones, even
three
though I have
guys,
them off.
Mikey, Hristo, and Chino, all across the world.
Hello, guys.
Live. How are you guys? How have you been?
Good, excited. Yeah, same. It's a good day for me, but
like this is gold. This is now, Mike. I'll fucking clip this and send it to you. You have to listen to it or go back to it. because
Okay, I'll
it's
do.
fun.
Yeah, I'll have to sit there and no, that'll take me a minute. One thing I've never listened back to my own voice ever. It just I 100 episodes of a podcast and I can't stand my own voice.
Mike, could you please show the latest comment on screen
Yeah,
by,
can you
by
please?
saying and say
No,
what it
that's
says?
Saeed, right?
Yeah,
Oh god. Yeah, Mikey's like an insurance salesman. Oh my god. I was
those poor
oh,
commercials.
oh my god. No, it was bad. It was bad, but it's funny. It's so funny. It's been so long. But I don't know. Always improving. I'll give it that.
I
The
like
bar
it
was
better.
low. The bar was low, so we're getting better.
everything is better. From Anchor to YouTube, from no only audio, from audio and video to everything else. It's better. It's a bigger platform
We have
for people.
microphones. Well, I have a headset. You have a microphone. Dave has a microphone. Ian, I think, is
It has
using a
money.
microphone. No, okay. Me and
I'm
Ian are
poor.
anti-microphone.
Oh,
But
fuck off. Also, Ian has graduated, so
oh yeah. Ian came back to Twitter. Yeah, you can when you give the plug at the end, you can plug yourself that you're back.
Well, dude,
it's been
is this
fun.
the
So
end?
it's never the end. It's only
The
a
beginning.
room for improvement from to the next episode.
Yeah, here's to 100 more, like Dave said to begin.
Yes, sir.
So before you like and subscribe and do all of that on every platform that you're listening, Mike is also joining a podcast tomorrow for an episode. Mike.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I wasn't gonna say anything, but Studio Enter, the Simper Enter podcast. I will be recording with them tomorrow. I will be shouting out everybody. I will be trying to funnel as many new eyes on our podcast as I can. I'll give my whole corporate Ian speech, and it should be fun. It should be cool. Yeah.
I'll be listening to the episode. If you don't do that, I have some weapons that I can pull out on Twitter and
All right, I'm gonna be blackmailed into it. Oh, but yeah, I guess that's it. Ian, you wanna play us out, and I'll get our outro. Thanks again, everybody. The chat's been very busy. I'm sorry we didn't get.
Wait.
Been a very
Before we go,
introspective episode.
there's a comment from a certain
Nina,
fiance
yeah.
soon to be.
Blow a kiss for me. I mean, I can look at you. You're over there.
Nana, don't look at them. Look at us.
Look at
when
you
you do that.
with
Come on,
loving
man.
eyes.
That's it.
He said that's the
So
that's the
look,
that's the this
in the past
thumbnail.
fucking 4 hours or 3 hours and 12 minutes, we have a feet reveal and a kiss blow from Mike. So
I can't make a
if that
heart with
doesn't
my
deserve,
hands, but
if that doesn't deserve,
I'll do you one better.
no,
Soccer
no
reveals.
feet. Oh no.
All right, I think that's my cue to go, guys. So
Yeah.
I'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah, we're just gonna play it out. We'll see everybody. Oh, wait, where's the button? I will be finding this, and
Like,
we
share,
are
subscribe,
gone. Yes, all that.
notification, all the good shit.
Bye. Oh.
Brothers and sisters of the world.